Hello everyone, welcome to IGNOU's classroom. So we are in the course wherein we are discussing how we can complete our MMPP 1, that is the project course of our IGNOU MBA, right? So we had a session already wherein I discussed an overview. I gave you an overview of all the things that happen in MMPP 1, starting from you selecting the topic or registering to the course till finally submitting your project report and completing your Viva course. And there also I had discussed a lot of common questions that people have been asking me and my answers to them. Then we saw how we can select topics, what are the different types of topics that we can select, how we can find the sample size, how we can prepare a synopsis, how we have to fill up the project pro forma, what happens after you finish, after you send across the synopsis. All those things were discussed already. So in case you're having any more doubts, please go to the respective videos once again. Okay, and if my question answer sessions or those videos as is not answering your questions, then definitely comment below. I will try my best to answer them. So assuming that your project synopsis got approved, you have to start working on your project, right? You have to start doing your actual research work, project work. You have to start now. So how you will start that is, you will have to first prepare a questionnaire, and using that questionnaire you have to collect your primary data, and along with that you have to select your secondary data also, right? And then once you have all the data, you have to analyze it and draw inferences and then make your report. That is how it goes, right? So in this session we will be talking about how we can prepare the questionnaire. So what we have to do when we are preparing a questionnaire, how do we go about preparing our questionnaire, that we will see now. Okay, I'll try to present it in a stepwise manner. So the first step before preparing a questionnaire is to have in mind what are the objectives that you told you are going to achieve using your research topic, right? You might have had many objectives listed down while you sent across your synopsis. So your questions should be such that those objectives can be met with the answers that you collect. Okay, so like for example, if suppose say our project was customer satisfaction towards Akshaya centers in Thrissur district, before we can design a questionnaire, we should know what are the objectives of our research. So maybe our objective is to find out whether the customers are satisfied, whether the people know what are the services, at least 50% of the services which you can get via Akshaya center, do they know? Those things might be our objective. So based on that, maybe our questionnaire could be which all services of Akshaya have you used, which all services of Akshaya have you heard of, how many times in a month do you have to visit your Akshaya center, how long does it take when if you go for a service in Akshaya center, how smooth is the process. Such questions you can ask them, right? So the second thing is, you have to have an idea of the demographics of our sample or our population. Akshaya center, something which is our project topic sample topic which we took was particular to Thrissur district. So if I go and ask someone from Chandigarh about it, it's not going to work out, right? Because our project topic is supposed to be of Thrissur district. So we have to make sure that we have an idea about our demographics. And now if we are going to in person and collecting data, then you might have to take with you a questionnaire that is prepared in Malayalam, translated to Malayalam. At least you cannot submit a Malayalam questionnaire in your report, but you need to have a translated project report in Malayalam and you have to take it, right? Because the people whom you are interviewing may not be very fluent in English, so you might have to ask them in Malayalam and get the responses in Malayalam, and you will have to mark the equivalent English answers. Then only you can collect data, right? And similarly, if you think about it, if you are asking a college student, or if you are asking a grown up person, somebody who is not having a good eyesight, then your format, your colors, your font size, all those things will have to differ, right? If you're giving a printout questionnaire, then those things will have to differ. So when you're designing questionnaires, all these things you should keep in mind, right? So these are a few things which I feel like you have to keep in mind while you're creating questionnaires. Then definitely how you are going to distribute those questionnaire. Are you going to send them a link? Are you going to give them a PDF? Are you going to call them up and you will be recording the answers? How is it? Is also an important factor. So based on all of these things, you will have to design the questionnaire. Usually kids go for Google Forms most often. Some cases they take the printout and go to maybe bus stops or things like that, maybe nearby houses, and they collect data. So I am not going into how exactly we can make a questionnaire, as in the software part of it. I am not going into it. I hope the framing part you have got an idea. Now, when you are framing your questions, make sure that you give, don't go for many open-ended questions like which is your favorite food or something like that. Write a few words about something, like a short answer, paragraph type questions. No, avoid them maximum. Only put it if you don't have any other option there. Okay, maybe one or two you can put, but remaining best option I would say is put some questions wherein you give choices and ask them to select from those particular choices. Okay, like how many services of Akshaya have you used in the past? Okay, maybe less than one, more than 50, something like that. No, like that you give. Okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your experience going into an Akshaya center in Thrissur? Or Akshaya center people are very cooperative. Do you strongly agree? Are you neutral, or do you strongly disagree? That Likert scale we have studied, right, in MMPC 15 and 5 and all those things, Likert scale and all for data collection. So such kind of questions you can pick up, right? So both in 15 and I guess in 5 also, in the first semester also, and in third semester unit 15, there is a detailed section given on how you have to prepare your questionnaire, what are the different types of questions you can ask in your questionnaire. Everything has been given, so I am not going again in depth into it in this video, but this is how you make a questionnaire. And the software part of it, once again, you can use Google Forms, there is Jot Forms, you can write it down on your own in the word, in Microsoft Word, something like that. Anything is possible. Okay, so our objectives, let's say for an example, our objectives, if you are taking from the sample synopsis which we took, right, that is satisfaction, customer satisfaction of Akshaya centers in Thrissur district. If you are to look at that, then the samples, our what you can say, objectives over there were to study customer opinion towards Akshaya center services, or to study the factors that influences a customer to avoid the services from Akshaya center. Okay, me personally, if you say I don't go to the Akshaya center near me, if I can do it using the UADI portal, I do like that, sitting at home, because the Akshaya center is too crowded. Right, to know the satisfaction level of customers towards existing service factors of Akshaya center, or to study various services that are offered by Akshaya center. So these were the sample objectives which were listed down in the synopsis I had shared in the earlier video. So again, demographics. So what is our demographics? Maybe generally people from around 18 to 60 years, or 15 to 65, 70 years, or maybe even 80 years, right? Those are the people who generally go and commute to Akshaya center for offering availing services. Less than 15 years of age, definitely a parent will be taking them. More than 85 years of age also, maybe their sons or daughters might go most of the time, unless and until it is absolutely required to take your old father or mother or grandmother, grandfather, whoever, to the center. So that is why demographics is Malayalis from around Thrissur, between the age group of, let's say, 18 to 60. So our questionnaire, we'll have to prepare it in either English or Malayalam, because we may encounter people who are not very well versed in English. So we might have to translate our English questionnaire to them and get the responses. And one important thing that you have to make sure while you're framing your questions is that make the question as short as possible, but it should not be so short that people will have multiple interpretations for the same question. Okay, it should be descriptive, as in it should avoid confusions, but it should not be very lengthy. You got it, right? It should be in that sweet, what you can say, that good area, which is not too much and not too less. Okay, so it should be to the point, and make sure it doesn't cause confusions. If you feel like the question is causing confusions, make sure, or if it's something not so well known topic about which the question is being asked, make sure to give a footnote or something like that. For example, if you are asking a question, state your salary. Okay, what salary? Monthly salary, yearly salary? What salary are you asking? Maybe somebody will quote their yearly salary and somebody might quote their monthly salary. And people like us, middle class people, if I say 6 lakh rupees, don't think that it is my monthly salary, right? But again, some people might quote 3 lakhs, that might be their monthly salary, we don't know, right? So in that such cases, you have to tell annual salary or yearly salary, right? So such things we have to take care. There should not, your questions should not be open for interpretations, because then it is very difficult to get proper data. Now, once we collect this data from the questionnaire, there are many other steps. You'll have to verify, you have to clean the data and make sure it is accurate, and things like that also have to be done. So that stage of cleaning the data, raw data which we got, no, that will become quite a big headache if you are not giving proper attention to these concepts while you are creating this questionnaire. So that is why I'm stressing again and again, make sure you frame your questions properly. Take some time and frame your questions, because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of time. Okay, so a few of the sample questions which you could ask. Generally, every questionnaire will start with things like, what is your age, where are you from, what are you doing, what did you study, what is your gender, things like that. So you can also start your questionnaire so that you can have the data of your basic demographic profile, depending upon your topic. Okay, whatever basic things of your basic details of your respondent is required for your analysis. I would suggest try to avoid asking for personally identifiable information like your Aadhaar card number or your email ID, phone number and all, because people will become skeptical. While you're collecting the data itself, make sure that it is accurate. Okay, so that you don't have to go back and ask them again after 2-3 days. Maybe it would be even months after we create the questionnaire and interview people that we finally sit to clean the data and start analyzing on it, right? So maybe we don't want to go back to those people. Make sure that while you're collecting the data itself, the data is complete. There should not be any missing points. You should not skip any questions. Okay, make sure you get answers for every question that you have. Similarly, people will be very skeptical also to share their phone numbers or their email IDs and things like that with you, mainly because it could get misused. It could get what you can say, sold to other third parties, and we might get spam calls. We might be trapped in some scams. Anything and everything could happen, right? So avoid asking for personally identifiable information, so that you give the respondents a confidence to answer your survey questions. Yeah, so similarly, yeah, a few sample questions. How often do you visit Akshaya? For what all services have you approached Akshaya? Things like that you can say. So these are the questions which you could frame. You could give it multiple choice questions, or yes or no type of questions, Likert scales, ranking based on 1 to 5, most likely to the least likely, kind of, many types of questions are there, right? You know much better than me, right? So you can use all those things as appropriate for your topic while preparing the questionnaire. So those are a few things that I wanted to touch upon about designing questionnaires. If you have got any question which I have not made clear throughout this video, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer according to my knowledge level. Similarly, I request all the community members also, if you see a question and you know the answer and I haven't responded yet, kindly do respond so that we can all help each other and grow, right? So yeah, thank you so much for tuning into Anu's classroom. If you want to get the official documentation for this MMPP 1 from IGNOU, you can scan this QR code that you can see on the screen. And if you want to get the sample synopsis that was used while explaining how the objectives and everything on this video, you can scan this particular QR code and you will get it. If you require online sample size calculator to calculate the samples size for your project, you can definitely scan this QR code and it will take you there to one of the sample online sample size calculators which I generally use. If you don't like it, you can just Google search and it will take you to any of the available sample size calculators. There are plenty of them. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much. Until I see you in the next video. Bye bye.